Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi. How's it going? You can hear me okay? All right. My name is Ofosu Jones-Quartey, and hello, friends, online. My name is and can y'all hear me okay? Thumbs? All right, great. My name is Ofosu Jones-Quartey. I'm sometimes known by my artist name, Born I. Um, Probably the probably the first thing to share from this vantage point is that um, I am a perpetual work in progress, and I've been practicing the Dharma for about 20 years or so, and or longer, I guess. Yeah, and I've been teaching um, for over a decade. Um, I started teaching with the Insight Meditation Community of Washington, that was founded by a teacher named Tara Brock, and I started teaching in their family program. Um, and you know, my life as a teacher kind of took on a life of its own. It wasn't something that I really saw in the cards for me. It was even my practice was something that I was engaging in to be a better father. I was a new dad many years ago, and I wanted to share the Dharma with my kids. My mother introduced me to Buddhism when I was very young. And when it was, when the baton was passed on to me to become a parent, I kind of came back to the practice. Um, I began practicing on my own. I learned, my mother taught me uh, well, introduced me to Buddhism in the Nichiren Soshu tradition. This is a Japanese Buddhist tradition where they chant the mantra Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and refer to the Lotus Sutra as their primary source of inspiration. And when I started practicing, I started practicing in the Theravada tradition under the guidance of a teacher named Bhante Buddha Rakita, wonderful monastic from Uganda. I think the first Buddhist monk from Uganda. Um, and I practiced in that tradition for a long time. Uh, I'm a new student in the Soto Zen tradition, practicing under a teacher named Zenju Earthland Manuel. So a little bit about my bib. This is, if you're unfamiliar with this, it's called a rakusu. It's a spiritual garment that one sews in various Zen traditions. For me, in the Soto Zen tradition, and it represents a commitment um, to taking the bodhisattva vows and to practicing the precepts, and a reminder to come back to the precepts when we stray from them, etc. So it's kind of like a Buddhist driver's license or an ID card. So this is not a symbol of any kind of authority, but more so a symbol of commitment. And I wasn't really sure that I was allowed to even wear it when I'm teaching or performing. Um, but both of my teachers encouraged me to. And so I am. Yeah, so I feel kind of like the weight of wearing my rakusu while I'm sharing, but but I'm also very happy to be wearing it as well. So I've got these kind of two Dharma rivers that flow within me, plus influences from many different teachers and traditions. I'm a father of four and a husband. I'm also a hip hop artist, and I've been working to bring these worlds together, to bring the worlds of Dharma and hip hop together in a way that is really that's nourishing for my life and hopefully supportive of the lives and the practices of people I happen to encounter along the way. So that's a mouthful, but a little bit about me. And what I thought we could do today. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you, Candle and PNW Pacific Northwest Meditation, PNW Meditation, for inviting me. And yeah, it's really special. This is like what I love to be up to in the world. So last night I had a wonderful time at the Portland Insight Meditation Center, and it was much more of a performance atmosphere than a teaching one. And tomorrow morning I'll be back at PIMC to offer a Dharma talk. The main focus of my what I the only thing I feel authorized to share from the teacher seat is the practice of self-compassion. Um, I'm still getting it together with the many different aspects of practice, but the one thing that I feel like I know well enough to share is the how foundational it is and how necessary it is for us to be kind to ourselves. So I'll be sharing a little bit about that today. I appreciate the land acknowledgement and all the various acknowledgements and the acknowledgement of our ancestors. And I just want to bow to all of those things. And with no further ado, what I thought we could do is I'd offer a guided meditation for like 20 minutes. Does that feel good, or does that feel how's that feel to y'all? I won't overdo the guidance. We'll try to do like a 10 and 10 sitch. And so 10 minutes. Oh yeah, how's that feel to y'all at home? Okay. All right. Okay. All right, cool. So um so my thought was based on our timing, yeah, about like a 22-minute meditation. And then maybe we could take a quick break. And then we'll come back. I'll offer a short talk. And then an experience that I call hip hop sound bath, where I'll play my singing bowls and offer some songs. And then at the end, we can chat a little bit. How's that sound? Cool. All right. Well, I will begin with the sound of the bell. I like this. Let's see what this sounds like. Oh, nice. Is that this? Oh, yeah, that is that. Oh, careful. Um, you're welcome to have your eyes open or your eyes closed. Is there anyone who is completely new to meditation practice? Okay. Anyone online completely new to meditation practice? Okay. So there's nothing that I'm offering that you need prior experience for. Yeah, so whatever posture feels good for you, whatever posture can help you to feel relaxed but alert is the recommendation. Um, However you want to rest your eyes is completely up to you. If you like to have them open, that's great. If you like to close them, that's also great. If you want to experiment, that's fine too. Um, yeah, and I'll just offer some guidance, and then I'll offer a period of silence. And that's basically it. Sound okay? Okay. All right, I'll begin with the sound of the bell. So this intro comes from the Plum Village tradition. With body, speech, and mind together in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May all who hear it awaken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. So, my friends, let's take a moment to just give ourselves permission to arrive right here and right now in this moment. One of the ways that we can do that is by reflecting on the fact that every word, every thought, every action that has happened before right now has come and gone. But all that remains of the past, the impacts, the feelings, the ability to understand, to grow, to heal from the past. All of that exists only in this moment, in the here and now. And so, as we settle in and take care of ourselves in this moment, we also take care of the past. Similarly, whatever might happen in the future, whatever thoughts, words, actions, or interactions might take place in the future, haven't happened yet. But our only opportunity to shape the future we want to see exists in the here and now, in this moment. So as we take care of ourselves right here, right now, we take care of the past, the future, and the present. Giving the muscles in your face permission to soften and relax. And giving the muscles in your neck and shoulders permission to be soft. Letting the shoulders drop down away from your ears. Allowing the arms to be heavy and the hands to be loose. Noticing if your body is holding any tension or tightness. We don't have to make a great effort to release tension or release tightness. But we can give our body permission to soften. Maybe you're imagining as you take your next in breath, you're gathering any tightness or tension you might be holding. And on your out breath, giving the body permission to release that extra energy. Using only the energy you need to maintain your posture. Allowing the hips and legs and feet to relax and to soften a bit. Giving yourself permission to just be. I invite you to take a moment and notice how you're feeling. Noticing how you're doing in your mind, in your heart, in your body. Allowing whatever's there to be as it is. The same way that you would allow a friend to show up exactly as they are. And based on how you're feeling, based on what you notice, what if a dear friend or a loved one, what if they were feeling exactly how you're feeling right now? What would you say to them? How might you treat them? Whatever you would say to them, whatever you would offer to them, you can say to yourself, treat yourself that way right now. speaking to yourself in the language of a friend, offering yourself kindness, acceptance, unconditional love. If it doesn't feel easy to offer this friendliness to yourself right now, that's okay. Just being willing is enough. I invite you to take a moment and notice if your attention or awareness feels drawn to some part of your experience right now. Maybe you are just naturally noticing the rhythm of your breathing. Or maybe your attention keeps returning to the coming and going of sounds. Or it could be in a sensation in the body. Maybe just the openness of the flow of your experience. Whatever feels natural or easy for your attention to be with and just to notice, you can let that be your home base. So that whenever the mind wanders, we know it's not a problem. As soon as we notice, we can just come back to a sensation in the body, or the rising and settling of the breath, the coming and going of sound, or just the openness of experience. Let's move into a period of silence now. We can be with our home base, coming back again and again, remembering to be kind to ourselves. In these last few moments of our practice, just taking another opportunity to check in, notice how you feel, to respond with some kindness. In a moment, I'll ring the bell. And that'll bring our practice to a close. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Thank you for your practice, friends. When we take a 5-minute break to stretch or use the restroom or whatever you have to do, come back in 5 minutes for the remainder of our time together.
But before we get up,
Mm.
we'll use just a few minutes to do some announcements.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So one important thing is that these teachings and bringing teachers here has been a great honor of ours. And the teachings generally, they've been offered on the principle of dana. And dana is the word in ancient Pali language that means the act of giving. And the Dhamma has been given freely without charge for 2 reasons. First, that the teachings are so precious and they're considered to be priceless, valuable beyond estimation. And second, without a set charge, the Dhamma is accessible to everyone. And it was the Buddha's understanding that the practice of giving enables the mind, it ennobles the mind, and it makes it fertile ground for liberation and for wisdom, so that we can bear fruit, the fruit of freedom. And this is because the act of giving cultivates the inner qualities of generosity, loving kindness, compassion, and equanimity, and the deep joy of sharing with others, the stabilizing feeling of interconnectedness, and the development of letting go with stronger awareness. And these are precious factors in the process of liberation. And through the centuries, the priceless and freely given gift of the Dhamma has been offered by monks and nuns and lay teachers, and the practice of dana through voluntary gifts of support they've been offered by those who felt benefited by the Dhamma. And without this interdependence of mutual support, these precious teachings wouldn't have survived. And so we feel really honored to help carry the torch and the flame and the heart of the teachings, and are very grateful for sharing your joy in giving and ours in receiving. And no amount is too small, and all is gratefully accepted. We have a dana box back there on the table. If you go out, the bathrooms are right outside, and so is the drinking fountain. And if you really feel like you benefit, you might consider being a monthly donor, just to help us maintain the use of the building and continue to bring guest teachers. We like to honor our teachers. And thank you very much for your generosity. And may you directly realize the joy from practice. And I'd also like to mention that we have coming up in 2 weeks, we have a monk who's part of the Sati Hermitage over in West Lynn. You'll hear more about him later. And on the 29th, Trina is offering a day-long retreat. Would you like to come and say a few words? All right. Well, we're having it at Loyola Jesuit Center. And so it's the first time we'll ever be going out to the Jesuit Center, which is a really nice several acres across from St. Ignatius. I think that's St. Ignatius Church. And they have a lot of big trees, and there's a lot of ability for outdoor walking. And there's a beautiful chapel there. So if you haven't ever done a day long, you might consider just having a little bit more practice. It's from 10 to 3. It's not that long, but it's enough to have some good sitting and walking practice. So just put that in your thinking cap. And there are a couple of flyers by the door, or you could take a photograph of it. So I think that's enough for now. Thank you.
We'll see you back in 5 minutes. Is that, in my experience, it's generally it's just not easy to be a person, generally speaking. It can be very challenging. And it's possible that some of us are not feeling challenged by being a person. And if that's you, then, you can ignore some of this. But for many of us, it's, just being alive comes with so many conditions that are really outside of our control. Many, many, many conditions that we come into the world with are conditions that we didn't choose or didn't choose in a conscious sense. So I like to mention that there's, some folks have the thought or the belief that, we kind of chose our parents or the type of life that we wanted to have before we came into the world. And I think it's great if that's how you feel. I'm just saying that, I don't remember doing that. And, I might have asked for different stuff. Most of this, I would have definitely been Black. That works for me. I started losing my hair when I was in my 20s. So I definitely would have asked for a head that was still compatible without having hair. I don't know what I would have done, but yeah, I would have asked for this head for sure. But yeah, I might have asked for I don't know, a dad that was more chill. My dad's great now, but wow, that took a while. I certainly would not have asked for to be born with an undiagnosed mental health condition. I wouldn't have asked for OCD, for obsessive compulsive disorder, or generalized anxiety disorder, or a nasty cocaine habit, or I just wouldn't have asked for any of those things. So I just it helps me to have a lot of compassion for myself when I consider that I didn't really sign up for this, but here I am. And it helps me to have a lot of compassion for my fellow human beings when I consider, as far as most of us remember, none of us really signed up for this, here we are. As soon as we pop out into the space, then we got to do stuff too. And not only do we have to do stuff, but we have to navigate the preconditions that are out of our control, who our parents are, who our siblings are, if we have them, who our next door neighbor is, what our socioeconomic status is, our race, our ethnicity, the mental and physical and emotional health history of our ancestors, all of them and more. And the country you're born in, the time in history you're born in. I mean, but many and oh, how we look, how tall we are, how short we are, how our bodies work or don't work, all these things, but there's and most of us would say to a friend or a loved one, well, that's out of your control, so don't judge yourself for it. But generally speaking, we typically don't give ourselves that same measure of grace. And I think we misplace or overemphasize the judgment that we put on ourselves. And in doing that, cause ourselves a lot more suffering. And so I generally just want to encourage folks to think about how they might treat a friend or a loved one in any given circumstance they find themselves in. For me, having these unfortunate or unpleasant conditions, issues around my mental health and issues around addiction, and I guess the gift that they did give me was this arriving at this place of thinking about how to be a little bit more kind to myself and experimenting with how I talk to myself. Is it possible for me to speak to myself with a little bit more grace, with a little bit more kindness, not to abandon my responsibilities or pretend that things aren't what they are. But, we all have a friend or a relative or a loved one who's like kind of a mess, and just, or maybe we're the messy one. But we can, if we have that person in our lives who's a little messy, there's a lot of us can offer them a lot of grace or patience or acceptance because we have a sense of what they've been through, and we have context for their behavior. We might not condone it all, but it doesn't mean that we don't love them or care about them or even keep them around. But I think we often, in my own experience, we forget to extend this same level of understanding and grace and patience to ourselves. And I think it's important, to remember that we're here too, just as much as anybody else. And something that I feel like really impacts us is the conceit of knowing, of thinking that we ought to know how to do it, ought to know how to be a human being. But it's always changing. Like what is there? Where can we place our place our expertise? It's always changing. So it's like, what figure what out, how, what life was when we were children is very different from what it is now. And I mean, what it was like a month ago is different than what it is now. Yesterday, it is just always, always, always changing. So placing the expectation on ourselves that we should have it handled, I think, is a recipe for a lot of suffering. When we can give ourselves a baseline of kindness, a baseline of grace and care, we have more flexibility to navigate the ups and downs. Again, in my experience, we're more able to recover when we fall short of our highest ideals for ourselves. You know, we don't throw ourselves away, but we can pick ourselves back up and just take that next step and continue forward. There's a lot that I feel we overemphasize in our ability to navigate our own mental health. So, like, if you are a new meditator or a long-time meditator and your mental health is still kind of kicking your butt, I recommend doing everything you can to care for yourself. So it was I talk about this often because, you know, sitting in the front of the room, I don't want folks to assume that like it's only sitting that has been of benefit to me, or that it's, you know, only, you know, so like conventional Dharma practice is, I think the Dharma practice of compassion is what has enabled me to care for my mental health even more, to the point of, you know, receiving a diagnosis and then also taking medication to help manage my symptoms. And yeah, I'm generally having a better time. You know, I also, you know, adjusted my approach to meditation. You know, the the way that I learned insight meditation, just watching my breathing, it ended up not being the healthiest practice for me. Open awareness practice or listening practice is a much healthier practice for me. Um, Having, you know, the way that I approached my work as a musician, I needed to change that also. And self-compassion informed those changes. So I'm not saying that being kind to yourself is like the end in and of itself, but it can inform the decisions you make in your life um, that can help relieve some measure of our suffering. So as I, you know, continued on this journey of like, how would I treat a friend in this situation? Or what would I do for a friend in this situation? Or in, you know, who is in the same life circumstances? How can I be a friend to myself about X or Y? You know, getting up and going to the studio to go make songs. It wasn't possible during the pandemic. And so the studio moved to the bedroom. And um, then my kids could hear me in the next room, like, you know, recording. And then I could just ask them to come into the room and record with me and be a part of this. And then just like, I don't know, just turn the whole thing into like a big family project. And that was much healthier for me than having this like sort of secret life where I go off and I do this, you know, etc. Um, and making my music much more about my Dharma practice, my experiences as a parent and as a husband, and, you know, just finding a way to make it all like one continuous expression. Also, a much healthier way of approaching my life. So I feel like this journey of self-compassion that I have been on has been really life-saving, not in and of itself, but helping me make decisions that have reduced my suffering. So I just really want to emphasize again that it is not only is it challenging to be a person, and not only do we come front loaded with conditions that we for for most of our recollection did not choose. It's also strange to be a person. It's like, because it's always changing, and our inner world is its one thing and our external world is another thing, and it's just, you know, it's like it's often challenging and bizarre, but like we didn't make it that way, you know. It's like you don't have to judge yourself for those things. um but what's the wise response to being in a situation that is often hard and bewildering? I think it's just to be kind, to be a little bit more kind. um yeah, just adding that measure of friendliness towards oneself. And it's not necessarily even like this, doesn't have to be a big undertaking, like, oh, I'm gonna like love myself deeply. Just what about like? Most people, listen, people kill people they love. Most people don't kill people they like. And I think we should start with like. Just what about like? Just let me just, and you just does you just start with a little bit of friendliness, you know, a little bit of, we can, it doesn't have to be that we like audit ourselves and find the things that we like about ourselves, but we could like how we treat ourselves and appreciate our efforts, forgive ourselves for our shortcomings, give ourselves patience, you know, give ourselves the gift of patience. I really want folks who have decided to step on the spiritual path or the the meditation path to stay on it, because I think it's wonderful and powerful and important. Um, but I think it's really easy to burn yourself out when you put unnecessary pressure on yourself or have undue expectations. There's no way to really know where the practice is going to take us. So we can just show up for it and do it lightly. You know, the nature of reality is already what it is. It's already free. You know, the freedom and the liberation are just like a matter of fact, actually. And it's our relationship to it that determines whether we experience it that way or not. um, so that's why I like open awareness practice, because I just be sitting and then just like, oh, here goes reality. No, 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 no. And that's enough. You don't have to convince yourself of anything or, you know, or be perfect. You know, the perfection is already there. But it's not easy to see it, you know, when we're criticizing ourselves for things that we don't have a choice for in the first place. Um, so I'd like to do this little experiment. You friends online can join also. Let's just take a moment and just notice how you feel now and think of what you might say to a friend or a loved one who was feeling the same way. And then if you like, you can share. Just, you know, you don't have to raise your hand. You can just say out loud or you can share in the chat. Hmm. What would you say to a friend who is feeling exactly how you're feeling in this moment? We have anything in the chat? Okay. Well, I can share what I would say. I would say, I think you're doing an okay job, buddy. That's usually my little inner mantra. It's like, it's okay, buddy. Or good job, buddy. Or, yeah. Hmm.
I was, I heard this song at one time. there was a line that said, "Don't worry, be happy." And I thought, well, that's almost like crossing the Columbia Gorge with a rope or something like that for me. But what I did learn is from practice is that there were one of the practices that Thich Nhat Hanh has. He said, "Just smile." And I thought, oh, I haven't done that in years, you know. So I decided to smile, and you know, it was like one of those things that gosh, I don't have to be dishonest with myself. I just have to do the action, and I guess apparently in our society, what is it? People have to have a lot of really complex systems and objects to be happy, and all it takes is just smiling to yourself and just accepting.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it can be as simple as that. Just offering yourself a smile. Mm, I appreciate that. Yeah,
I would say you're stronger than you realize.
you're stronger than you realize.
You know, you can handle more than you think you can.
You can handle more than you think you can. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Uh, Hello, can this be heard okay?
Mm, yes, 1 second. You're going through a lot. It makes sense what you feel. Mm. Oh yeah, we'll pass the mic around. Thank you.
I would say, what I say? Oh, you're going through a lot. It makes sense why you feel the way you do, and what can you do to just take care of yourself today?
That's beautiful.
Something like that.
Thank you. We had a hand in the
I
back.
think we had someone on Zoom next, and then we'll go to Element in the back. Is it Pikake?
Mahalo, and sorry about earlier, and thanks for the mic. Um, I was thinking about how I had messed up with somebody I loved, and I'm sorry, I just respun the prompt into thinking, what do I want this person who I messed up with to say to me? And I was thinking maybe that would feel good to hear. I know you just want me to be happy.
Mm.
And please forgive me for being in no video. I'm in the dark anyway. But yes, mahalo. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So, one of the things I often say to myself and to others is, I'm in awe of you.
I'm in awe of you.
But to my veterans, I often say, thank you so much for letting me serve you like you served us.
Mm. Yeah. It can be very, very medicinal for us to learn how to be in a friendship relationship with ourselves. And this friendship that we form and develop with ourselves can really be the energy that helps us continue on the path so that we don't give up, so that we don't give up on ourselves and that we don't give up on meeting each moment as honestly as possible. Because the self is not just one thing, because the self is literally everything. All of your ancestors, all of your ancestors and all of their touch points, all of your current relations and their touch points, and all that will come after you. Everything that makes the universe, not even speaking esoterically, but just scientifically. Everything that makes everything is what each of us is. And so if all we do is spend time learning to be more loving, caring, and accepting of ourselves, it's not a selfish endeavor. It will impact directly all of our touch points in the past, in the present, and in the future. This process of learning to be patient, to be kind, to be accepting, to be honest, to be good to ourselves, it requires attention. So our mindfulness practice comes right into view there, and it requires effort. So right effort is there, right concentration, right livelihood. The Buddha's whole prescription for awakening is in how we treat ourselves and how we show up in the world. So there is nothing self-indulgent about being a friend to yourself. In my experience, it has impacted all of my relationships for the better. And so when we consider that each one of us is a doorway to the whole universe, this kindness that we offer ourselves is a kindness that we are offering to the universe. So that's really what I feel most passionate about sharing is, it's not easy to be a person. It's often also very strange and mysterious. But we can make it more difficult and more strange and more mysterious by being unkind to ourselves. So this practice, how would I treat a friend in this situation, brings us into the present moment and allows us to respond with kindness, which I think is really the essence of this whole path. What's happening right now and what's the most kind way to respond? We can give that to ourselves moment by moment. Okay. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I hope it was beneficial. What I'd like to do for the next, let's say like 15, 20 minutes is share some music with y'all. And so I'll begin with playing my singing bowls for a few moments, and it'll naturally just flow into a music offering. So if the original sound for musicians can get turned on for the Zoom, so folks at home can hear well, and let me make sure that I'm connected to the Bluetooth. And so my most recent artistic projects, my album, Como Rebbe, and my book, Lyrical Dharma, just turned 1 year old. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very proud of these projects. And I've been having a lot of fun sharing them. And so I'll share some songs from Como Rebbe. If I have time, I may share 1 or 2 songs that I'm working on for a new project. But yeah, you don't have to feel like you have to respond to any of the songs, like with applause or anything like that. Really, these songs are meant to hopefully support our practice and to be an expression of practice. So, so you can just listen and just be with them. Is that cool? All right. So let's begin. Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. I try to focus excitement, sit in the lotus alignment. The truth is that I want to know what's inside. And the Buddha said, you'll never know till you try it. I sit in silence and steady my breathing. Try to see something I've never believed in. I want to know every part of my soul, how it develops, how it unfolds. All these emotions lock me in a prison. Soon as I notice, they're gone in an instant. Knock, knock, who's there when the door swings? Robin Hood with the arrow in the bowstrings. Look for the light at the end of the tunnel. All of the ways I defended my struggle. I am the child, I am the parent, I am illusion, I am awareness, I am the pain that I didn't take care of that turned into all of the things that I'm scared of. What do I notice is none of it lasts, same as the lightning and thunder that crash. All of the thoughts and the feelings and fears stay for a moment and then disappear. Everything in me is naturally free. All that's required is I let it be. I am the sun, I am the storm. They call me infinite when I was born. I am enough is the mantra repeated for all of the love and compassion that's needed. Yes, I might fall again, but then I'll rise again, sitting cross-legged, closing my eyes again. Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real.
Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself, form. Sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this.
Breath is love and love is all, softer than the breeze that turns the summer into fall. Form is emptiness and emptiness is form. I'm breathing in a quiet place where memories are born, sitting hours long in poses, plus the power of enforcers. Turn me from an ogre to a flower garden stroller, Komorebi photographer holding heavy binoculars. Each falling leaf is a slow and steady provocateur. Perpetual evaporation, no matter how you move the decimals or calculations. The mystery reinvents. Pray I'm a great-grandfather when my breathing relents. Finally, I want to live. Romanticizing death is just the luxury of kids. Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara, my son and daughters, fathered by a foolish man to prove destiny in nirvana. Blessings can now befall us. Devils could only stall us. We adopt the mind of Joseph when heaven's messengers call us. 7 steps in the garden, sending flesh to piranhas. Or a bodhisattva holding a treasure chest for the farmers. Take a breath. A breath. Take a breath. A breath. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, Dharma, Sangha, and Buddha, me and Ayana like Moggallana and Sariputra, a liturgical reference if ever you read the suttas Allen Iverson provides if you ever need a computer. Young Bruce Wayne watching Zorro, born eye sipping Suntory mixed with Sapporo. The relevance is Dali, Salvatore Mundi, Llamas is in the lobby. Promises often haunt me, my common sense was Atari. The levels built with my Akis was my eventual sorries. But why apologize for living? My teacher told me only I could compromise my sitting. Thank you, God, for this moment. I know it could be worse with even harder components. I invited Ka's spirit to enter me, to be a conduit, an expression of legacy. Time keeps turning, the mind keeps yearning. Fire sermon said that everything my eyes see burning. Returning to the source between the rhythm of my thoughts. Even in the deepest silence, know the rhythm isn't lost. Little did I know what losing innocence would cost. The obstacles that I would come to witness through the course. Take a breath. A breath. Meditation at the tree of resilience. The hollow trunk reveals the burns I can feel in my feelings. Hard to extinguish the fires I can feel while I'm kneeling. Hard to distinguish the visions I can see while I'm healing. I'm being enough as I spy the sublime. Walking the mountains, dancing with the sunlight through the pines. Time after time, broken hearted, the life of my dime. Spiraling chimes punctuated my life full of crimes. I'm being enough as I learn and unfold. The words I compose fly away as a murder of crows. Soon as the moment good and evil converge in my soul, a new awakening begins to emerge and unfold. This is Shikantaza. Sit and breathe and leave the peace to mama. Some repeat the horror, some go deep, then complete the saga. Breath. Take a breath. Some go deep and then complete the saga.
Shariputra. All things are marked by emptiness. They neither arise nor cease, are neither defiled nor pure, neither increase nor decrease. This perfect wisdom carries us from the banks of suffering to the shores of liberation.
Breathing in, breathing out. When I'm just sitting and seeing, swimming the river of being, thirsty for knowledge, but when I dissolve, it's beyond just a literal meaning. After nirvana, the laundry, after enlightenment dishes, all that I know is there's only this moment and never a higher position. What could inspire my vision? Open my eyes and I listen. Total surprise when I'm going inside and I know what I'll find is defying description. Never dying a victim. Raising a child with wisdom. Dream with the shore, but the feeling is raw when I look at the miles in the distance. Answering calls from the prison line, told him to chill and just give it time. Still when you can't see your children, even in the summer, it's cold as the winter time. Some of my people move packages, beef and then speak to the mattresses. If you could see all my damages, doubt you could ever believe how I managed it. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Kneeling and noticing breaths. I feel the wind moving in and out of my chest. Silence is loudest when I think about it. I'm emptying out until nothing is left. Moments can never be broken. Reflect on a quote that can never be spoken. I'm content to be sewn as the fabric upon which the effigy's woven. Freedom is all that we are. Seeing myself, everything that I see in the stars. Sometimes I weep and I sob. Loving myself is the same as believing my God. I try to let it all go. Staying in the present within the perpetual flow. Where do we go when it's done? Into the sun? Only the heavens can know. Burning the slowest of candles. A butterfly goes when I open my hand up. A koan, stillness can flow on the freedom of knowing I don't know the answer, but hell is behind us. Best we could do is just let it remind us hell is behind us. Presence and kindness ended my blindness. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Love is patience, love is grace, and Both of these are understatements. Be the mountain, be the ocean, be forgiven, be devotion. Concentration, then distraction. Slowly learning self-compassion. When you feel it's getting scary, just remember it's temporary. First it's coming, then it's going. Everything is forever flowing. Trust awareness, that's your knowing that there's no coming or no going. Interbeing, interweaving, spring, summer, fall, winter speaking, staying present, then distracted, then returning. This is practice. Visits by the demon, sit and watch your breathing. Soon as you can see him, that's when he'll be leaving. Open your awareness, let your body settle. When you learn to let go, thoughts are just an echo. Let go of the struggle and the striving. Life is all around you, try to rest inside it. Searching, you won't find it. When you recognize it, God is like the sun and you are what the light is. So be the mother, be the dad, be the friend you never had. Be the sun, be the earth, be the death, be the birth. See the past, see the future, be the present, be the Buddha. And when you start to get distracted, just come back again. This is practice. I lie awake, a quiet place, see the eyes behind the face, close the door behind the gate. My teacher said, no time to wait. Ancient trees, painted breeze, the simple pattern of ginkgo leaves. Pray for love, pray for peace, I pray for change, wait and see. Autumn nights, shooting stars, quiet dawn, who is God? Through the heart, do my part, the turning of the wheel of Buddhist art. Sit and listen, inner visions, intuition, intermissions, then returning, then releasing. This is practice, keep repeating.
This is our practice, to return to the present moment again and again with an open mind and an open heart.
How we doing? We doing okay? Okay. Maybe two more? Okay, what are we gonna do though? Okay, I would love to share. Oh, this is a very short song that I haven't performed much. So I'm working on this new project. It's called Kanzeon. So all the songs you just heard are from my most recent album, Como Rebi, and this Mountains and Rivers. Do I have the instrumental to Mountains and Rivers? Oh, come on, don't do that to me. Bruh, why? Is this it? Hold on. It's okay if not. Is this just the instrumental? Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. I don't know the words to these new songs, so I'm just going to read some of the lyrics. This is a very short song. It's called Mountains and Rivers. Let me pull this up first before I... So my new album is called Kanzeon. Kanzeon is the Japanese way of saying Avalokiteshvara, or the Bodhisattva of compassion, or the embodiment of compassion. So each one of us can be Kanzeon. Anytime we are offering compassion to ourselves or to anything in the world, Kanzeon is there. The energy of compassion is there. And so that's been the inspiration for this new project. And yeah, okay. And I've just been sharing some of these songs, seeing how they feel, and yeah, hoping you enjoy. So here's Mountains and Rivers. Instead of looking at time, look at the mind. Straighten my posture to the crooked lines. Shook up my crimes, put them behind. Stuck to the pages like a book in the spine. Mama's a Buddhist, daddy is brilliant. Grew up in the 90s, resilient. Notice my thoughts, notice my feelings. Know when it's dark, know when it's healing. When the mental is clear, forever is near. Opening thoughts, here. Forests are talking, mountains are walking, rivers are rushing. It's a discussion. The needle point of the flowing moment can open the glowing home of the ultimate. Golden portals above it and floating lotuses under it. Potent shoulders are holding unfolding scrolls of the thundering. Lightning striking eternity. Heightened lion is biting the sky until it can merge with me. I'll be over and under it till I'm over and done with it. Holy Ghost in the government overdosing from love within. One who knows it discusses it till the moment that something shifts. Forests are talking, mountains are walking. Rivers are rushing. It's a discussion. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll do one more. This song is called Thank You. And yeah. Thank you for joy. Thank you for tears. Thank you for love. Thank you for sky. Thank you for crows. Thank you for doves. Thank you for parents. Thank you for children. Thank you for needs. Thank you for mountains. Thank you for rivers. Thank you for trees. Thank you for pleasure. Thank you for pain. Thank you for healing. Thank you for food. Thank you for friends. Thank you for feelings. Thank you for clouds. Thank you for rain. Thank you for snow. Thank you for maybe. Thank you for yes. Thank you for no. Thank you for sitting. Thank you for walking. Thank you for silence. Thank you for peace. Thank you for trying again when it's quiet. Thank you for time. Thank you for patience. Thank you for grace. Thank you for closeness. Thank you for space. Thank you for animals. Thank you for laughter. Thank you for humans. Thank you for knowledge. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for music. Thank you for freedom. Thank you for compassion. Thank you for tests. Thank you for maybe. Thank you for no. Thank you for yes. And so, my friends, I encourage you to take a moment and call to mind something or someone, somewhere, somewhen that you feel grateful for. Something simple, easy. And notice if there's a place where gratitude shows up in your body. And whether you feel it in the body or not, with your next breath, Just breathe into that feeling of gratitude, or invite gratitude into the body. Let it fill up all your molecules and cells and atoms. And just take a moment to rest in gratitude, or even just the willingness to be grateful. And know that in this moment and in all moments, you are enough. Thank you. We have, so technically about 5 minutes, but I don't know if we have any, do we have a hard stop in 5? Or also, if you have any questions or reflections at home or here that I can offer, I'm happy to. It's probably a good time to share that I am oh yeah, I've said this already, that I'm a father of 4. If you would like my children to survive, you can get a book. My book, Lyrical Dharma, and I have 2 copies, 2 vinyl. This is the last pressing of Komorebi. So I have 2 vinyl copies left, and those are all the books I have left also. So what's in the back is what's there. If you have, if you're able to get a copy, I brought my calligraphy kit to sign stuff. And if you're at home, you can go to my website, orneyemusic.com, and there's more stuff there as well to help this. Outside of helping my kids DoorDash, I'm a regular contributor to an organization called Beam, which supports mental health services in underserved communities. So all of the proceeds, a portion of all of the proceeds go to my regular support of Beam. So thank you for supporting a good cause also. And with that, any questions or thoughts or comments or anything I can offer?